my child is an adult and is making choices that maybe I don't agree with. How do I gain influence and speak into their lives?
Seriously? Good question. I'm going to let Jill start this one.
Yeah, it was, of course, a difficult and tricky situation for us because I didn't have the history to really come in and start influencing them in that way until over time they really learned to value what I was saying, and I was so thankful. But mainly I went back to just listening. I had to ask a lot of questions and get to know what they wanted from me. Most of the time they weren't looking for me to answer it, especially at that age, but they really did want my input, and they knew that I had a history as a non-Christ follower as being out in the world. And so I did have some what I thought were good solutions. And I think they really watched me. You know, they want to see how you're doing life, and so they want to see what my way of responding to life was. So I really tried to watch that. But when they came to me and they asked or they wanted my opinion, I was delighted and just tried to speak slowly so that I didn't overwhelm them with my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think in those days they were trying to learn who you were because you were my new wife. And this was a new experience for them. At that time, at the ages that they were at, I would say there were some very serious, big decisions that were being made in their lives. And you know, it reminds me of, we have a friend that when he and his wife were raising their teenage daughter as she was approaching her middle teenage years, he said to me, he said, wow, man, she is now right at the age where one decision can wreck her entire life. And I think he was right. In those middle teenage years, you have to be so careful. And so I believe what he was saying was very true. And what it made me do is realize there are times when you need to confront your children with the decisions that they've made. You need to actually help them to see what those decisions are going to lead to. Then there are other times when you let those decisions play out. You don't confront them. You let them make those decisions and see how it plays out, so they understand that. And the last thing I would say is, though, no matter what it is, confronting them or not confronting them, you never, ever stop loving them. They always know that you're there for them. They always know that they mean everything to you. That's what's important.